And welcome to Car Con Carne. Car Con Carne is presented by Alex Ross Art. If you've ever read a comic book or a graphic novel, you know that Alex Ross he's the best. He has this photorealistic painting style that really makes it look like you're not just reading a comic. It looks like you're going through a photo journal. It looks like these characters from DC Comics and Marvel Comics actually exist in real life, IRL to you kids. And Alex Ross has his own YouTube channel, and here's Alex Ross to tell you all about it.
Hi, this is Alex Ross. I appreciate you guys supporting our YouTube, and we create new content every week. I hope you will continue to support us, and please subscribe.
It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
And I am James Van Alstyne. I am on Armitage, right outside Red Hot Ranch. To my right, if you're watching this on YouTube or on Facebook, that is Lilly Choi, she of Chicken Happen. Chicken Happen on the verge of the fourth full-length release from Chicken Happen. Great to see you.
Hello, nice to meet you.
It's always weird, right? Because when I meet people for the first time, it's in my car. I'm like an Uber driver. I mean, we traded emails, but this is our first time actually.
Right. Your car is very clean.
It's not always that way, but I'm glad. Thank you for noticing. I did take it to the car wash, and I paid to have the interiors.
Yeah, it shows.
And I had to tip hard because there was a lot of food caked in there. So I mentioned we're outside Red Hot Ranch. I got you a hot dog.
Thank you.
When in Rome, when in Chicago.
Right.
All right. And it's one of those hot dogs that's wrapped in fries.
The best kind.
The best kind. So you got to kind of work your way. It's like a Tootsie Roll.
Oh, yeah.
Except a savory Tootsie Roll. You got to eat your way to the center, then you get the fabulous reward.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Chicken Happen's fourth album. The album comes out on November 10th. The release show is at SubT on the 19th.
Yep.
November's a busy month for you.
It is, definitely.
All right, let me grab a hot...
You got a hot dog, too?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I wanted to be consistent with how we're handling this. Out goes the gum, in goes a French fry. I've mentioned this before.
Very good fries.
I love the fries here. I've mentioned this before, though. The thing about Red Hot Ranch, cash only.
Cash only.
They have to be the last standing restaurant in Chicago that has refused credit cards / Apple Pay / everything else.
One of the few.
One of the few. The fries are good.
It's been a while for me.
For fries?
Since I've had Red Hot Ranch.
Uh-huh. Well, I'm glad to be the one to welcome you back. So let's talk about this album. Again, comes out November 10th. Release show the 19th at SubT. Sonically, musically, creatively, you're raising less of a racket this time around.
Yeah, you could say that. Definitely.
I mean, I'm hearing a very introspective album. I mean,
sure, yeah.
Right out of the gate, you have My Turn, which I think is a pretty devastating opening song. It's kind of a mission statement in a way
right.
for what's to follow.
Absolutely. That was definitely very intentional to put that song there.
I hear sadness. I hear frustration.
All of the above.
Do you tell stories or do you reflect what goes on in your life and head?
I definitely reflect what's going on in my head, in my life. You know, for pretty much all my songs, I almost can't not write songs like that, which sometimes I wish I could, but no, I mean, most of the times the songs are extremely personal.
Okay, well, you've been making music as Chicken Happen for 10 years. Is it your turn? It's got to be your turn at this point.
I mean, it'd be nice. I wouldn't mind.
I think, listening to this song, what's great, even though this is a personal to you song, I mean, these are lyrics I think people can latch onto, whether it's relationships or work. Like, you can ascribe what you're singing about to anyone's personal frustrations.
Absolutely. I think so. I think that there are emotional words that a lot of people can relate to, like you said, in any kind of situation that they're feeling frustrated in.
Mistakes, I've made a few. That's my way. It's my turn.
Right.
Mistakes, I've made a few, and the future is not looking too good.
I mean, it's just. I mean, if you think it is, I don't know. I want to know. I want to know what where your headspace is at.
Yeah, the world is a dark place. Although to be fair, when you wrote that song, you had no idea you'd be eating hot dogs in a car under the L in the beginning of November.
That is very true. I was none the wiser that I'd come this far.
So My Turn opens up the album, and then total sonic shift. Now, I've said this
Absolutely.
before. I am a huge fan, and I'm guessing you are too, Lily. I'm a huge fan of album sequencing. Like
Yes.
taking your listener through that journey and like having a really deliberate story or
Absolutely.
thread.
Right. The sequencing was extremely important, and we spent a lot of time on it. And we tried out a lot of different things. We weren't like very solid on this is it. This is going to be it. It happened really organically. We were just like, let's try this and that. We tried a bunch of different reiterations, but basically I think what we landed on, I'm really happy about, because I think it does really take you on a journey, and that's kind of what we were trying to do with it.
Now, you've played piano your entire life,
I have.
and it does take center stage on this album.
Yeah, it does. It's a first for me, though, because I pretty much, was a good Korean kid, and I played piano and violin growing up.
Did your parents push you in that direction?
They did. They pushed me since a really young age to play instruments, and I sucked at violin, but I just seemed to... I kind of had a knack for piano. I kind of really enjoyed it, and that's the one I stuck with, but I really only ever played classical.
Is there much of a shift involved?
Oh, big time. I mean, I was a note reader. That's all I really did, and I never felt confident in playing rock piano. Like, one of the first bands I ever was in college as a cover band, and I played piano, and even that was a little bit easier because, the songs are already written.
Right.
But in general, I was like very meek about my piano playing. I think I used to try to like do too much. I just wasn't comfortable. Like, I was never comfortable with playing piano in more of like a rock setting because I was just so used to reading notes.
Right. So that goes, or I would assume that means everything prior to this album was written on guitar.
We had one song on our 2 albums before, Let It Burn. We had one piano song on there. But besides that, this is definitely the first time, we ever were like, let's write a whole album on piano.
So the video was recorded, it looks like, all over the place.
Yeah, all over Chicago.
Including a car.
Including a car.
So where all did you shoot that? I started to try and play, okay, where are they now?
Yeah. So we started off at our practice space, which I feel like we just spend so much time there.
Yeah.
And we've also shot another music video there. And so we were there, and we were like, we got to get out of here. We got to do something else, not just have this whole video in the practice space. So we just were kind of shooting ideas like, well, we're hungry. Let's go to somewhere we can get something to eat and drink. And after that, we're like, oh, what should we do next? And I was like, and I also had the idea. I was like, hey, remember like in high school when you used to just drive around in the car because you didn't have anything to do, and you would just kind of bop around places. Like, let's just do that for the video.
So where did you bop in and out of?
We went to Logan Arcade.
That's what I thought.
We went to, I can't remember the name of the toy store. There was a toy store a little bit north on Fullerton, really close to Logan Arcade. And Zach, our bass player, is, he likes, he's into, I wouldn't say he's into toys, maybe a little bit. He likes figurines and whatnot. So we're like, let's just check it out. So we went in there, just kind of looked around and goofed around in there. And then we're like, after Logan Arcade, we're like, what else should we do? Like, maybe we should try to go bowling. But for some reason nowadays, like, you need to have a reservation,
Yes.
like a day in advance or something to go bowling.
You're right.
So I was like, you know what? I've got a great idea. It was like a weirdly kind of cloudy day, and then the sun had just started to kind of come out and set, and it was looking really nice. I was like, this is the golden hour. Let's find a rooftop.
Yes.
And so we had never been there. We went to this, it's called the Roby, which I feel like is like this fancy,
I've never been.
fancier, like upscale rooftop
Yeah.
bar. And I'm like, are they going to let us in there? Like, are they going to look at us, take one look at us and be like, no. But we're like, no, let's just go. Let's go. And so we did. And, you know, they didn't kick us out. And it was really cool. We were like there. We caught the sun just as it was
Yeah.
setting. And it was all our first time there. And we were just like, this is really cool.
Do you like doing that stuff? Do you like doing videos and like expressing yourself in that way?
I'm not as comfortable with it, but it is a lot of fun. And Chris, he made the video for us. He just made it so much fun, too. It just was like we were hanging out. And what
Yeah.
I love about the video is I just feel like it really captures who we are, like as friends, as a band. Just, you know, we just love to hang out. And
That's
you
cool.
know.
And by the way, I do miss those days, a very long time ago for me, of just driving around, playing whatever the hell you want,
Right.
stopping for hot dogs.
Exactly.
But it just that aimless kind of awesomeness.
Right.
And can you tell we're near the L? Also on the album, To All the Inconsiderate Assholes.
Yeah.
That's a title. What I like about this, there's those backup vocals. You only care about yourself. You only care about it's a really nicely produced song.
Cool. Thank you. That's one of my favorites.
You don't care who you leave behind. This is about someone.
You know what's really funny? This song is actually about my road rage.
You have road rage.
I used to. Recovering.
How did you get here?
Recovering road rager over here.
Did you walk or drive here?
I rode my bike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we're right off Milwaukee Avenue. That's probably the worst street in Chicago to ride your bike on.
You know, but also it was just a straight shot for me, so
Okay.
it wasn't too bad. And now they have all these protected bike lanes.
That
but
is true.
No one cares about them. There's like cars in and out of them, but still, it wasn't too bad. It's a nice night out.
So
I
road
definitely
rage.
didn't mind.
Were you one of those people who would flip people off if they cut you off? Are you a brake tapper if someone's driving too close?
No, my main problem is flipping people off. That was and I really was like, I gotta stop doing that.
I think we all came to that realization because none of us want to get shot on the road.
Exactly. I was like, I really need to stop doing that.
Because people are fucking crazy.
They're insane. I commute to and from work like 45 minutes to an hour both ways. So I have to say, like, I just, people these days, I see some of the craziest shit on the road. And I can't even be mad anymore. I don't have road rage anymore because I'm just flabbergasted.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Find Yourself, another great song. Again, the album is 4, like Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Chicken Happen. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Chicken Happen 4. Find Yourself has these really dramatic builds, these really cool moments where the music peaks and we're just left with this throbbing bass or you.
Right.
This is the most cinematic sounding song on the record.
Absolutely.
Where did that come from?
So weird. I would say this song is one of the more, I don't know, maybe more R&B leaning songs. Like you said, a little more cinematic than the rest of the songs. And it was one of the later songs I wrote on the album because we had like 8 songs, and then everyone was like, you need to write more songs. Write a couple more songs, 3, 4 more songs. And that song, honestly, who didn't have a hard time during the pandemic? But I definitely was listening to a lot of R&B at the time, and then also just kind of in this confused place of like, even with music, like, what am I doing? What is my place in all of this? Like, just even as society as a whole, I kind of was like, what the hell are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
And I really do think, as I am a little bit older now, like we are really responsible for who we turn out to be now. Like, we can't be blaming other people for our problems anymore. So that song's kind of just like, find yourself, like, figure your own shit out, and kind of just, you had all this shit going on in the past, but you have a chance. We all have a chance to really just find ourselves and be true to ourselves.
There's a Broke Downs cover on the album.
Yeah.
I Want to Rock Your Body Until the Break of Dawn.
It's an old one. It's a classic.
Classic Broke Down song.
It is, and we all love the Broke Downs.
Everyone loves the Broke Downs.
And Zach and Mark, they go way back with them. They've been playing with them since they were in high school.
Oh, my God.
And, you know, we really kind of wanted to make an homage to friendship in general, like friendship as in us as a band, and also just friendship in general. And it was Zach's idea. He was like, how about this song? And we could really make it our own. Like, people will love, you know, the people who know it will love it. And I think if we put our own spin on it, like put it on piano, people are really going to be like, whoa, that's cool.
Well, it has one of the best sing-alongs on the album, for sure.
Right.
For sure. And at the end of the album, we get Best Laid Plans, which, again, going back to sequencing, and I love this, this feels like a closing song.
Absolutely.
The band just sounds big on this. Mm-hmm. And the repetition until the end of, are you disappointed now? No, I'm not. I was pretty fulfilled.
Nice.
You did it.
Awesome.
But
It's the only guitar song on the album.
And it is the appropriate way to wrap things up, I think.
Nice. Great.
So it really is a smartly put together album. It sounds great. The album, again, is 4 from Chicken Happen. Comes out on November 10th. Release show on the 19th at SubT. And that's the rest of your year. That's it.
That's it. That's all she wrote.
I think it is your turn, Lilly Choi.
Thank you.
All right, so if people want more Chicken Happen. By the way, should we have had chicken instead of hot dogs?
Oh, I mean,
Did I blow it?
not at all. Chicken actually, I mean, it just happened to become Chicken Happen has nothing to do with chicken. When we decided on the name, it's pretty funny because I originally wanted the name of the band to be the Shaking Habits, and there was Zach and someone else was in the band at the time. They were out at a bar, and a friend asked, "Hey, so what did you guys decide to name the band?" Like, "Oh, we're still deciding. Lily wants it to be Shaking Habits, but we don't really like it." And the friend was drunk, and he was like, "Chicken Happen?" And then I get all these messages like, "The name of the band, it's got to be Chicken Happen." And I'm like really not sold. I was like, I don't know. Like, what? I just really don't know about this.
Narrator's voice, 10 years later.
But then, you know, I told this story to my brother, and he's 2 years older than me, and I've always just wanted to make him laugh. Like, it's always
I
been
love
my
that.
goal for him to think I'm funny. And I told him that name, and he cracked up. He thought it was hilarious, and so I was like, "All right, that's it. Chicken Happen. That's the name of the band. That's what we're going with."
I love it. I love stories like that. That's fantastic. All right, the band sounds great. I love the direction you've taken this album in.
Thank you so much. It means a lot.
This is really good. 4, again, the album, release on November 10th, release show, SubT, the 19th, and then I can't wait to see what's to come in 2024.
Awesome. Thank you.
And the L plays us out.
Nice.